Hi folks, it's John from lastchanceautorestore.com. I'd like to share with you just a quick update. This is one of the doors, to be specific, it would be the driver's door. So the left front door for the 1971 Ford F250 Camper Special. These doors were in the back of the truck with all of the parts kind of stacked up. So someone had tried to do some repairs to basically from this rib section down on the original door skin, and there's severe, they call it tin canning is one of the names they call it. So it was really ripply and it lost all of its shape. So when you just barely touched it, it would kind of bounce, go boing, boing, back and forth kind of thing with sound effects. So it was really bad shape and a lot of body filler. So we weren't able to locate door assemblies, and when we did the evaluation, there's a couple of different choices. So there's a couple of different companies that make a lower replacement outer door skin, which essentially wraps over and stops right around this area. And then we were lucky enough to get another supplier which has a skin that comes up quite a bit higher. So it's basically a little bit more than half the door. So our problem with both the driver and passenger doors on this 71, they were all distorted and heavily rusted and rotted out in the bottom with extensive use of body filler and questionable materials. So we needed to replace the inner and the outer, so this was the best way for us to do it. So the guys did quite a nice job. Essentially what they do is they mark and measure, they cut off the old door skin and remove it very carefully. And I'm just going to flip this door over. Before I flip it over to show you the inside, this is a special epoxy, and after the panel is welded in, they want to make sure that they seal between the new skin and the old skin. A lot of people will rely on body filler. In time, what happens when you put body filler in these seams, or where the weld seam is, you'll see little bubbles over time start to pop out. That's moisture getting caught or trapped behind the body filler between the skin and the metal. So what they like to do is use this special, it's a commercial grade or industrial two-part sealant or epoxy. So we skim that or give that a coat after the welding and grinding is done on any of these exterior seams. It helps seal it, and then after 48 hours or so it's sandable, and then they'll be able to do the epoxy sealer after that. So what I'm going to do is flip this door over just to show what the other side of it and the rest of the door looks like. So on the 71 trucks, they have this jut out, or this tapered section. So the guys were able to, so you can see where this new inner is. This is where they have welded it in. So it basically comes across, and then along here you can see where it's all welded and around the other side. So this is the new replacement panel, and it's quite a good reproduction. The fit was quite nice. So the guys basically cut out the rotted piece, and we have some pictures to share with you later. So they cut all the rotted stuff out, and then they dry fit this the new replacement panel in, tack weld and screw in a couple locations to hold it in place, and then they work the outside to install the skin, and then they wrap it over like the factory does, so it's folded against itself, and then hammer and dollied. And then in between, what we do is we have an adhesive, a body adhesive, and it just helps keep things sealed. And so they basically do a bead of that before they wrap it over, which just helps long term from rusting. So if you look at it, I think the camera person can probably show you quite easy. So it comes, you can see where the skin, so right now it's pretty obvious. You've got your original factory skin until here, and then our new skin or replacement starts here, and basically it's over half, almost 3/4 of the door. And you can see how well that's folded over, and that's all hammer and dollied, and then they'll spot weld the just like the factory did in this corner. They'll spot weld it there, You can see how nice this fold over is. And you notice between the inner and outer skin there's bare metal because they grind all of those inside pieces where they go to mate to each other to protect it first before, and then same thing here. You can see where they've got the punched pocket. It's nice and formed and then comes all the way to here. So then what they'll do is they'll do a little bit more grinding work so that we don't have any raised or high portions. And then they'll continue to prepare this and sand it and get it ready for a two-part epoxy. So it's a lot of work. Some guys would say, well, just get a whole door or a replacement door. But this door does match the truck originally from 1971. And we're lucky enough to have some really highly skilled guys with metalwork. So when you have a combination of panels that fit quite well and a talent, this will turn out quite nice. And when we're done, there'll be no evidence that we've ever touched the inner and outer door skins. So lots of progress continues. This is the 1971 Ford F250. I thank you for watching. I'm John from lastchanceautorestore.com.